Well, I hope say on a week then be good, not so busy and whatnot. But could don't happen in our country. And today we there so for discuss and talk. As time they go, una go maybe see some allejo them or una no go see them. I cannot guarantee. All I know that I can guarantee is I am here, and also Madam Candy Johnson Cole is here. Madam Candy Johnson Cole, tell Fambuliado.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, Una, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever on a day. Yes, we don't come back today. We can finish waiting we start last week. So I hope
Yes,
say Una go follow up and Una go enjoy them.
indeed. We don't come back today for can finish waiting we start last week. And as they go, as they talk, we go, delve into some issues. Then we go talk about some things. Then we go move away, come back, depending on how things they go. When I know for saying Ayaso, we are not static. We move with the wind. Not always let the wind guide us. We try to control as much as we can, but we will see how best we can do this. Okay, so fumble them last week. We've been then also and we'll be they talk about the new terminal Nalunge. We get for cost 270 million, and we also look at the now cancelled Mamama Airport. We've been for cost 350 million. Inside there, we also been get a parliamentarian amongst we, where na Honorable Abdul Kagbo of constituency 0777 of Cafe Bulum Chiefdom. And it been get for talk but boku things them where they happen within in chiefdom. It talk about what happen at the launching ceremony. It also talk about how parliament no but this investment here so, and how parliament not approve this investment here so, and how that paper they not reach inside parliament house. Inside there as they talk, people then tell them challenge, and he also talk about how parliamentarians then they know they give them money for do development for their constituency. Inside there, he talk about how then they do osusu within themselves for help for bill. They do things then at their constituency wey mean say na their own money then they use. So with all them talk here, so we been get for asking some questions then. Where as they talk, it reveal certain things them, and I don't think and they will be one for sit down inside today. So if the honorable join we, absolutely we go sit down inside and thing and day until we know the time difference. Sometimes they sleep can pass you small, you can try, but the sleep they fetch you. But hopefully we hope say then go join we as we they go inside the program. So inside the back we been get one caller by the name of Mike Berwa, where now the youth SLPP youth I think either spokesperson or PR person. I'm not sure really what his official title is. We come and we make certain remarks them. Now let it be clearly known that I personally contacted Mike Berwa. Mike Berwa promised to contact me back, but he has yet to do so. So make another one for make anybody at any point sit down Ayaso and talk say there was an opportunity presented. I did not run with it. I did not make use of it. I contacted him. Like I said, I will on this platform. He said he will get back to me, but he has yet to do so. And let it be known that Mike Berwa already know for say every Friday, either on my personal platform, on my personal page, or on this platform, I present a show. So if you been really want for come and hear in views and opinion and get a dialogue, because what I try to do is get a dialogue, is try to educate, he was free to do so. But at no point, let me make it clear that he will call the phone lines and think that he will be given 5-10 minutes to expunge or to whatever. That's not going to happen. So, Madam Kadi Johnson Cole, this week or so, we see a number of things that will happen. We see, say, one, and Fambulem, even before I sit down inside the topic proper, I just try for go through a couple of things then. We see, say, one, the letter common ado, we say the Attorney General don't pull letter say Dr. Sylvia Blyden is exonerated of all in the crime that where them been put Panam when are they crime then they be make or supposed crime or infractions and they be make you go sit on a jealous for over 3 months and turn this that court finally she won the case and whatnot, and now they don't talk say all charges have been dropped. That's the picture where they go pull commoner and also as evidence as exhibit. And for return that picture, they give. I don't know what you make, but that news day because for me, in the first place, there was no crime committed.
Well, the mere fact that the charges have been dropped, it's up to Sylvia Blyden now to follow that up, because she's quite capable anyway to do whatever she wants to do. So I cannot say much on that anyway, because I don't know exactly. I've not seen the exonerated letter. So, but she knows very well what to do if she wants to do anything. So I cannot say much on that really.
Exactly. Okay, with Fambulem, as we go, make we not waste much time. So this now the game where I can call the game of 3-0. One person get 3, the other person gets 0. And I know say na a game of football, like one I've been see na that Salone Nigeria game we've been playing at Benin. Nigeria been the worst we, I mean no was we, you know. I mean no was we some serious wars. Now you know, now we tower back, we come back, we equalize. So is this going to be a game of equalizer, or is this going to be a game of 3-0? We don't know. We are watching and we are seeing. I don't know who is going to checkmate eventually, because I see this as a game of chess. May the best chess player win. But one thing I'm going to say, stop playing games with the Sierra Leonean people. On both sides, stop playing games with the Sierra Leonean people. We see you. We truly, truly see you. Let the game stop and let real action, concise action be taken. You all know what to do. You all have rules, processes, and procedures. Please apply them. So today, I named the main topic in the dance between the ACC boss and the ex-president, who will say checkmate. Madam Kadi Johnson, I open the floor to you. I don't know what you think. Even before we go inside the details proper, I just want to know what's in your own summation.
Well, to be honest, I don't know how to start it. What do you want from me exactly?
Your general opinion. Just I have given an opinion so far, even before I go inside. So your general opinion. It's been 3 times. The president has been invited. Ex-president has been invited 3 times by the ACC, the anti-commissioner boss, right? The first time it was in Freetown, and then some reasons were given, and they're like, okay, in McKinney, then say na the police headquarters na McKinney, then they not happen, they end up for go meet and I host. That meeting they take place so and so, then like, oh, there's going to be a follow-up. The second time they invite them for Camp Freetown, Camp Freetown, they're going to McKinney. They went to McKinney. We all saw what happened in McKinney. The third time, which was just last week, was it Thursday or so, or Wednesday, they invite them again. Now Freetown. This time again, there was a no-show. And before even I go into the details, I just want to get your general opinion about the whole thing.
Oh, well, for me, he should have attended anyway, but I don't know exactly why he did not attend. He may have had a very good reason. I don't know, because I don't know what transpired between the former president, his legal reps, and the ACC. I don't know. Maybe I might be able to add into it depending on the discussions. But so far for now, we don't know exactly, because you keep hearing different people saying they put in different information from the internet, particularly when we are not there. It's not easy to verify most of these information that people are giving out, unless if you know something that I'm not aware of, then we can go into it.
Okay.
So far, my general view is that I would have imagined the former president would have attended the meeting and the meeting, but then I don't know why he did not.
Okay. Okay, so here is what we know as fact. And we know this as fact because the legal representative of the former president have said this on here. We know this as fact because the police communications person has said this on here. We know this as fact also because Francis Ben Kelfala, who is the ACC, boss, has also said this on air. One fact we know for sure is that the first time he was invited in Freetown, the excuse was that, oh no, there's not enough, why Freetown? Why should he be moved from where he is when there is already an ACC division within Kenema, which made perfect sense. Why should he come to Freetown when there is a division there? They can conduct their investigation, do whatever they need to do. So they invited him to that division. He did not show up, and the excuse was that he didn't want to cause disruption, because if he shows up, people will show up on the street. He doesn't want riots and whatnot. So what then happened was an arrangement was made, undisclosed to the general population, and the ACC team, including Francis Ben Kelfala himself, who has confirmed that on several occasions, they met in the house of the former, at the house of the former president. Whatever happened there was between them. That dialogue is not out in the public, but what has been confirmed is that they met. One. Second occasion was McKinney. And McKinney, the thing where people they confuse right now, where we need to make clear. The invitation of the former president, let me make this clear. No get nothing for do with waiting happen or the outcome of the Commission of Inquiry, COI. The invitation, this current invitation, has no link with the outcome of the COI. This invitation completely separate. This is not a separate issue where Francis Ben Kelfala been done the investigate. We get for do with money laundering, allegedly, according to Francis Ben Kelfala. Okay, we get for do with money laundering. We in the investigate. We separate from any of the findings them. We come out inside the commissions of inquiry, because many a times I don't hear people and they say my role here is to educate people, and they talk say he not gonna cut it, he get right for appeal, he get right for this, the 90 days not done it, this, that. So we dey mix all two the issues them up. Now two separate issues them. Waiting come out inside the COI and waiting then they invite them for can talk and for can discuss. Now the anti-corruption office now two separate issues then. So with that said, the reason why make McKinney being scheduled, not being get anything again for do with the the Commission of Inquiry. It been get everything for do with the current investigation where Francis Ben Kelfala they conduct on money laundering on the former president. When they invite him, now the McKinney, we all see what happen na McKinney. There was what I call complete lawlessness, complete breakdown of rules and regulations and processes and procedures. Some people then say, as a former leader, as people then we respect again for don't come on a door, it been for don't talk to his supporters them. Make them give road to the anti-commission, people them, make them can do their work. We also hear from in people them in legal representation, then say, then call the anti-corruption people them for say, listen, if you are being blocked, if you are not being given passage, we can take una put una na we motoka them and bring una come and we guarantee una security. But no such thing happened. When according to Francis Ben Kelfala in team, then she say, when they see the tension and whatever that was mounted when then they approach or when then they reach inside McKinney, then decide for say, if them proceed, that it won't be right. That boss kata go commode, bongbosoro go commode, and then want for be part of any kind of bombosoro kind thing, kata kind thing, where maybe go result to the loss of life. So waiting and do, then decide for retrieve, come back na Freetown, and then reconvene at another time. Now, this reconvening at another time, we see happen so 2 days ago, where the president was invited for come na Salone for can talk to the anti-corruption people them and the boss, make the boss, I believe, present in finding and he and in legal representation, make he say yes or no. This and some people in the talk say, well, in legal representation mean they why make them not go just accepting liberal? No. His legal representation is his legal representation. They can be there, but sometimes in an investigation, you want to talk to the person where you they accuse, the accused person or the alleged accused person. You want to get into a dialogue, get word for word sentence from your mouth, not from the legal representation in mouth. So I just want to set the scenario, the scenes of waiting happen. Now this time around, according to the legal representation of the former president, they say the president not feel safe. They say he not feel safe for come na the Anti-Corruption Commission. And so they ask and say why he not feel safe, because he does come to Freetown when he wants to. And say, well, because the police be not issue statements on to the president will say if they can't Freetown or any time then get a meeting. If anything happen, if any kata happen, if anything we then call, we then deem say na irregular behavior or irresponsible behavior, then say then go all the president responsible for the action of his supporters them. Now, the president say he not feel safe, given the fact that he not feel safe, he gets the full security where he deserve, and also because they don't tell and say, if in supporters then do anything from away from McKinney to Freetown, now in then go all responsible. He say in cannot control the reaction or actions of in supporters them or of people them. Actually, what he say, I cannot control the actions of people. So for me to be held responsible for their actions, he not feel safe. So then say now that make the meeting not whole. Now, is that enough reason? That is the question we should be asking. Is that enough reason not to show up this time around? Madam Kadi Johnson.
Yes, okay, Matilda, I'm going to start with letting the public know that I came on this show not knowing that we're going to discuss this topic. So I just want to make that known to members of the public. I didn't know we're going to discuss this topic here because we were going to discuss another topic about the Lunge Airport. I wish I wasn't part of this morning's discussion. Well, I call it this morning's discussion because in London, it's 1:30 in the morning. In other areas, I'll take it as this evening's discussion. However, one thing about me, I try not to compromise my integrity in any way. The mere fact that I'm here now and this topic comes up for discussion, I'm just going to be there, and as usual, I'm going to deal with it objectively. I've tried to deal with it objectively in the sense that I'm not going to take sides at all, because not dealing with it objectively means my credibility in a way would be at stake here. And I don't want anything to damage that. So I'm going to be myself. Right. The former president, like I said earlier, the former president should have been there. When he spoke about security, and from what you're saying here, I don't know, in the past, there was an incident in which the former president's security, I think, we changed or something, or there was suggestion that they should change the security or something, in which the former president insisted that he wants his own security. He wasn't comfortable with the state security. Well, so we're told anyway, because I wasn't there. We're only going by what was reported on social media. So we were made to understand that the former president would rather have his own security than security of the state. So fine. So when it is coming here now, there are scenarios here. The state should provide security for the former president. If he's coming to Freetown, they should provide security, considering that he was the head of state for 11 years. He is a very high-profile person in that society. So we need to protect him. However, there's a confusion here. If 1 minute the former president is not comfortable with the state security based on what happened in the past, is it so? It's kind of making it difficult for members of the public. Another thing, you mentioned that the police issue a statement saying that if anything happens while the president comes to Freetown or on his way to Freetown, correct me if I misunderstood you, the former president will be held responsible, liable for anything that would happen. There is it. I think, yes, let's play devil's advocate here. And based on what we have been hearing on social media, you see, there were so many audios going around in which the opposition have been inciting, encouraging people to accompany the former president to this interview all over from east, west, north, and south. So many people, you see, it's like they were mobilizing for people to go there. You see, when you look at it, actually, when you look at it, in all fairness, let's assume that the ruling party was going to do anything bad, or anything that the public will not see right in terms of the security, when it comes to the security of the president. It wasn't obvious. What was obvious here is the actions of the opposition party members, in which they were telling people to come and attend all these interviews and all that. And one thing I am aware of, one thing I know for sure is when interviews are being conducted, you don't have so many people attending for interviews. But then again, listening to what other people have been saying, when Lawrence Lima had a problem or something, I don't know whether he was interviewed or went to the police station, something to the effect. There were so many people who accompanied Lawrence Lima. And I think another name was cited in which so many other people accompanied the president as well. So you can understand why the opposition too are asking for their own people to accompany the president. You see, but then that's not how it should be. But I think it was just the norm in Sierra Leone. That's what, if anyone has any problem, they call all their members to go with them. Because I remember when I was in Sierra Leone, there was a case in court about the SNPP. People were all in court. The court was full and everything. I think it's just the norm. That is just acceptable in Sierra Leone. But when you look at it, it's about time we start putting all these things into checks. Is it because when you're being interviewed, you only need your representatives, your legal rep. You see, go there with your legal rep. What I am not sure about here, because I remember when the last incident, the last interview that was scheduled for the president, in which all these Sokos and all these horror people took to the streets in McKinney and all that. So during that time, what was I going to say? Yeah, there was a time when during that interview, I can't remember now what I wanted to say. I can't remember what I wanted to say, Matilda.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Okay,
I know there is something I wanted to
from
say.
here. When you remember, let me know. Let me pick it up from here. It is true that yes, listen, this man ruled this country for 10 years. Okay, he ruled the country for 10 years. I can always say even Satan self getting admired at them.
Oh, definitely.
Okay? Jesus Christ getting admired at them, Satan self getting admired at them. Jesus Christ gets the one that will not be let come, he gets the one that will let come. Satan gets the one that will let come, he gets the one that will not let come. Yeah. Okay? So this is what I always say. This man ruled this country for 10 years. You can see him say as a bad ruler, whereas someone else see and say he was the best ruler ever. They are entitled to that opinion. They are entitled to that view. That's their perception. That's how they see him. So I can always say for when the current president not been in power, he also had his own admirers. He also had his own followers. So let alone somebody who don't rule a country for 10 years, where some people see him as a demigod, almost, you know. Some people see him as a demigod. Who is to say why would you think that himself not go get admire them? Who is to why make una go feel to say if they yeri say if they left McKinney can't inside freedom for something as important as this? You don't be surprised that The streets of Makeni right up to Freetown will be lined with supporters and admirers and cheerers and well-wishers and whatnot. But how can we negotiate? You can't stop, like what you rightly say, when Lima been there on trial, we been say how Pademba Road been full. Sometimes therefore, even the motocar self where they escort them for make it even come on inside self na wahala, because we they see how people and they lay down at streets, lay down, they do whatever they are doing. But nobody not been say, if any kata, and we been see the draw the back and forth, if any kata of any or anything take place, it is on the head of Lima. So for me to put that on the head of the former president, I think it is stretching it. Now, that is not to say also as a responsible leader, he cannot come out and make just a simple statement and say, me people them, not to hold me, not to jail them, they go jail me, not to lock them, they go lock me. This na simple procedure. This na investigation and they do. When they don't do the investigation and call me, say, okay, now this we see, now that they we see, now dialogue, now talk, now sit down with they go sit down talk. If I say, waiting on a friend not to me, then no waiting and get for do. If they say no, now you, then and me self no waiting I get for do. But this talk here, so na talk way we get for sit down talk. Maybe I think as a leader, with somebody we get so much respect, we still command so much respect from the population. I think say if he really come out and talk to the people them and say, I understand that thing where he's saying, I'm no longer in office, I'm not responsible to speak to the people, it is not my duty, it is not part of my, it's not part of my call of duty anymore. I am a former statesman. I am there to guide. I'm there to support. I'm there to uphold, but I am not there to set rules and blah, blah, blah. I understand that kind of thinking, but in a situation that is so tense that, self, not sharp enough for Kotam, I think, he's always said he's a man of peace. He's a man of dignity. He's a man of respect. He's a law-abiding citizen. If you don't see time and time again, now this they happen, I think right about the third time now, if I don't come and tell him in supporters and say, this is just a normal procedure. And also to the current government, make I know, you say, when you talk pan the bone, you get for talk pan the dog. That place wasn't only lined up with supporters of the former president. It was also lined up with supporters of the current government. Una self need for talk to una people them. Say this is process, this is procedure. This is not time for vuvuzellaing. This not time where two institutions then they come together to a former institution or a representation of a former institution and a representation of a current institution, even though it's supposed to be a separate body, we're not attached directly to the political, political meowing of whatever state affairs, then they come together for look into the books according to the constitution of the law. I think say una self need for talk to young people, and because there was no need. If una been really serious for make this interview take place, here is something you could have done, and I keep saying this. When you went to Makeni after the first scheduled interview not take place, when you went to Makeni to speak with the president, you went there unbeknown to the public. You did what you needed to do. Now, after I don't do, people and find out, say you even go Makeni and you sit down with the president. I understand that you want to interview him. Yes, it is the law, it is the rule. But sometimes, given certain circumstances, then you need to take a little curveball. You need to take a little curveball.
Matilda, what do you mean?
There is the application of the law, there is the rule of the law, which is the application and the spirit of the law. I know that you, Ben Kelfala, what you are doing right now is the spirit of the law. But maybe we have to to maybe, I'm not saying put aside the spirit of the law, but maybe within the spirit of the law, maybe you can find some maneuvering whereby this thing can be done without this much hoopla. This is what I am saying. I don't think so. The constant announcement of I have invited the president, it's bringing about too much chaos.
But wait a minute, Masila, let me say something here. Yes, I've got to come in here and say something. I remember now, I agree with you, because I had slight problem on that when I got to understand that there were FL people, so many of their party supporters were at the anti-corruption. So it makes me wonder, so maybe could that be a reason why the former president does not feel secure enough, because his own people were not there, because as a result of the statement made by the police officers. You see, but to tell you the truth, I personally don't blame the police officers for putting out that statement. I don't, you see, because they are doing their job, assuming that, let's say, even if they have ulterior motive, I am not in any position to know that ulterior motive. I'm only going by what we see, and according to how we feel, they should do their work. If there were too many messages coming out that we have to go in the numbers, in hundreds, in thousands, you see, some people are even sending a message that they have the guns. You see, we don't have the guns, but we have snakes, we have this, we have tabora, we have all that, you see. So these people were indicating as if it's going to be a big problem, a big problem. So can you understand why the police put out a statement that if you know you are not an Koroma, you have not been invited for this interview, you go out there, if anything happens, you ask for whatever consequences you might end up receiving. But I think the reason why they said the former president will be responsible, because, like you said, the former president is in a position to speak to all his supporters. The question of saying that, oh, I'm no longer in power, I'm no longer this. Yeah, of course he's no longer in power, but mind you, he is still the leader of his political party. He is still the chairman and leader, you see. So he is in a position to speak, and we all know
actually
that.
Let me just correct that, just because I mean, I interview a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. He is right now a figurative head. He's no longer the leader because their constitution is suspended.
Okay.
Because they are coming into us. So I just want to correct that.
Okay.
Not the leader.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You've corrected this, you see, but I don't think that will make much difference to what I want to say. What I want to say is, whether he's a figurative leader or not, you see, everybody knows that it's got such a command that if he says one word, the whole APC will listen. If he just tells them that, look, I'm just going for an interview, nothing is going to happen, I don't want anybody to do anything, you see, they would listen. But what I'm not sure about, I think most of his party supporters are of the view that they're going to arrest him, because people have been insinuating that, indicating that he's going to be arrested. You see, so people are very worried about that, you see. What I would have thought would have happened was his legal representative, obviously his legal representative would know whether the former president was to be arrested. I don't think the motive was for him to be arrested. I honestly don't think so. I think if at all he was to be arrested, it wouldn't have been at this stage. You see, because at this stage, they just wanted to question him, you see, and they wanted to question him. And then upon answering those questions, then the questions will set out the next stage, whether they're going to indict him or not, you see, or they just wanted some clarifications just from what the ACC boss said. Some people keep saying that those who work with the former president keep saying that, oh, I did it because the former president was the one who gave me instructions to do so. I did that because I got instructions from the former president. So they wanted to clarify all those things. And I remember on one occasion when Francis Kalfala said, I don't know why, see, maybe the former president might be in a position even to clarify a lot of things. It may not even be as serious as as he would think. You understand? You see, so all I want is for him to just come so we can clarify some issues, so we can set the record straight, and then we know the way forward. But that has never come to pass, you see. So the main thing is, I think the president should try and make himself available for these questions. I know when you are questioned, there's some interrogations you go through. Your legal reps are not supposed to say anything. They can be there. They can be there, you understand? Be there, and then if they're asking you questions, just like when you have police stations, you're invited to police stations for question interviews. Your legal reps goes with you. Well, I don't know how it happens in Sierra Leone, but here, your legal reps goes with you, you see? But your legal rep cannot say a word. All the legal reps can do is, if questions are being thrown at you that legal reps don't think it is clear, the legal reps might go in and ask the officer, you understand, to excuse whether he could have conference with the clients, whether he could have conference with the client, or ask the place, whoever is in the interview, conducting the interview, to put it in another way for the client to understand. But the legal reps will not say anything. In fact, the legal reps will not even advise the client at that point. You see, he would if he has to, but he will not tell the client what to say or what not to say. It's the client who should say. So in effect, if I would assume that if the president had gone with his legal reps, the legal reps would be there. They would know the sort of questions that are being put forward to him, whether these questions are put forward in the way that the former president had full understanding of what he was being asked or not, and all that. But he has to be there. He has to take those interviews. He has to explain everything. He needs to do that. And I've always said, Francis Ben Kafala is empowered to issue a warrant of arrest. I hope he doesn't issue a warrant of arrest at this stage. Let him give the former president another chance. You see, I don't think I would want that warrant of arrest to be issued. Because sometimes when warrant of arrest, especially, it depends. When warrant of arrest is issued, it can lead to so many other things. And I don't want to think that that is I don't want to think that that's what Francis Ben Kafala wants to do. I think he just wants to have a discussion so they can clarify a few issues. So why the former president not coming there? You see, it's making so many inferences to be drawn. So many inferences is being drawn, you see, because he is causing that for people to draw inferences. Some people are even saying that, oh, maybe he's guilty of things. You see, he may not even be guilty of nothing, you see, but it's just because he's not making himself available for this interview. Why is he not making himself available for this interview? Maybe another thing I want to mention here is when this letter was sent to the former president, it would be nice to know, maybe you know, but it would be nice to know whether this letter that was sent out was only known to Francis Ben Kafala and the legal representatives.
Okay, so
yes, if it was known by other people, then to me, I would ask Francis Ben Kafala to do another letter this time. Maybe he can type the letter out himself and then make sure that he gives the letter to the legal reps, you see, because I don't know about Sierra Leone, you see, but where I live, if you have a legal representative, then you are not supposed to communicate with the client directly. Unless the client has got a legal representative, then you can communicate with the legal representative directly. But if the client hasn't got one, or the client has one, then communicate directly with the legal reps. You see, then the legal reps have a duty to go back to the client and say, this is the situation. Let's say that's what I would want to suggest, that a second letter, and this time, Kelfala should not even ask his secretary to do the letters. That way, he is so positive that no one knows about any invite. You see, and then he gives it to the legal reps, and then he tells the legal reps that I'm handing this over to you in the strictest confidence. No one knows about it. I want you to bring your clients for another interview, and this interview should take place at such and such time. That's it.
Okay.
I believe the legal reps will do that. Pardon?
Okay, so with that said, I'm just going to ask the technical team to show the 2 clips. Thank you very much to Sierra Network Radio for providing us with these materials. Thank you for your collaboration, even as we all work towards a common goal. So I go ask the technical team, make it play then 2 clips then there, and then I go open the phone line. With the phone line, please do not limit yourself to just the conversation of tonight. If you have been getting them on, I've been get last week, we are not able to take una call them, una also welcome for bring them the questions then they can today as well, or una contributions then, because most of the time it's not a question, it's a contribution. Una also welcome for do that. But make we watch this clip.
Commission, we are still covering the live, the interview of former President Koma with the Anti-Corruption Commission. And I'm still trying to get myself sorted out, because we went off and thought we were at the ACC. We are not going to speak to us, but Patrick Sandy is here, and he's the head of outreach and public relations at the ACC. Hello, Mr. Sandy.
Yes, good morning to viewers, and good morning to you.
Okay. Is this interview going to happen today?
Oh yes, sure. We are expecting that the interview will go on, because the lawyers of the former president have just met with the commissioner, and discussions are very progressive. The former president says that he's discussing with the security sector so that everything can be set for him to come here. But we are very sure the interview will take place today in Freetown and at the ACC office.
You had a meeting with the lawyers representing the former president.
The meeting was with the lawyers and the commissioner. I was not in that meeting.
Yeah.
But I will tell you and can confirm that yes, the meeting has taken place.
We spoke to them.
Yes.
We spoke to Joseph Pitia Kamara, who is the lead counsel for the former president, and he said they have security concerns. The former president cannot come if his security is not assured, and that is a serious concern. He's not even sure whether the interview will take place today, because he said the security issues has not been addressed.
Yeah, that's what I am saying, that the former president has indeed expressed the aspect of security, which is now being discussed with the security sector. So once that is cleared, then he will come in for the interview. So we are on standby at the commission.
What's the security threat?
No, that is on his own side, because from his own point of view, he believes that everything is not put in place for his own security. That is what he is saying, and he has right to that. We should understand. But from our own point of view, we are set. As you see the personnel around, and of course, there's no access to this building. We are sure that it's pretty okay. But he also has right to that, and he should ensure that the appropriate security on his own side is in. And as I have said, this is being discussed at the level of the security.
Yes, you are very optimistic of the
very.
former president coming for an interview today.
Yes.
But from what the lawyer said, it seems as if the former president is not even in Freetown. So how optimistic are you that he will come today?
I am very optimistic. I do not even know whether he's not in Freetown, but I am very optimistic, because the discussions, well, I am also telling you what the ACC point of view is on this matter, that we are very sure that the former president will come for the interview.
So what was the meeting they had? What was discussed? And
the discussion was basically to express the point that the former president has concerns over security, of his own security.
Quickly before you leave us, Mr. Sandy, let's talk about the previous engagement that ended up, chaotically. Again, security concerns were raised. So what did the commission put in place? Because evidently you will express a towering figure to have huge followings and his security being under threat. So what did the commission put in place to ensure that the 10 a.m. appointment that he had, he would have honored that if all things were being equal?
Well, the security is intact. We believe that from the Commission's point of view that the security is intact.
Finally.
But as I have said, that is his own position, so we have to respect.
Finally, Mr. Sandy, the interview did not happen today. Well, we are not. Mr. Sandy just walked off. We're still asking questions. Unfortunately, Samuel, the ACC is sure that this interview will go on today, and the lawyers representing the former president are not sure whether they have doubts if security is not provided as and how the former president wants it. They are not sure that it's coming.
I mean, I think games are being played in the sense that what happened in McKinney was as a result of security breach. So one would have expected the state to have put proper security in place for the former president to be interviewed here in Freetown. Of course, where you expect him, his party's headquarters is here as a chairman and leader of the APC, so he has huge following here. So that should have been taken into consideration by the state. And if that has been taken into consideration by the state, and the president and his legal team are saying that they are not satisfied with the security, and of course the state is charged with that responsibility to provide security for its citizens, and the former president is one. So if the former president is not satisfied with the security the state can offer, then it means this interview might not go on because they will continue to cite security reasons.
So in McKinney, it was security for the ACC.
Exactly.
In Freetown, it's security for the former president. And Samuel, is it that the former president is playing safe? Like you said, the ONS sent out a press statement yesterday warning individuals, people not to possess, people not to, gather in places. Is it that it doesn't want to be held responsible for any chaos, for any violent acts that might happen if he has to come here?
If we go back to what happened in McKinney, the leaked audio from the conversation amongst the Joseph Fitzgerald, the former president, and the Inspector General of Police, the former president said he is certain, he is willing and ready to come and give account of his stewardship because he has nothing to hide and he has answers to everything. And so with that statement, with that particular statement, one would expect him to have been here 10 or even 9:30 a.m. to have answered to the questions the commission has for him. But with that statement and him again not being here on time and citing security concerns that might prevent him from coming, then you'd want to ask few questions whether or not the president is committed to accountability, the former president is committed to accountability, or again, is he sincere about his
but the former president says his hands are clean. He's not a saint, but his hands are clean, and he's very ready and willing to ensure that this process is done once and for all.
And evidently, if his hands are clean and with this particular batch of lawyers representing him, then I think he should have made himself available. I mean, personally, for my view. And again, the states, it goes back to the state. Go and ask the former president, what kind of security is he looking for to be here?
One will expect the states to have, meet with the team and arrange security. If the president is not in town, how will he be driving through this place? You will imagine that proper coordination could have been done to address all this issue, but it seems there has not been that proper coordination.
Agreed. And the former president told the Inspector General of Police in that leaked conversation that the Inspector General of Police had done something similar in McKinney when the riot broke out, that he should have maneuvered to get in. But the IG is not even here, though. Personnel are here, but one would expect that proper security coordination, because this is a high-profile case. Make no mistake, it's not like the usual cases. This is a high-profile case involving a very towering figure, and definitely everything should be in place. But everything is going on normally within the capital city, which means there's no threat to any security. There's no threat to any security. But again, what would happen when the supporters, when members of the APC, when they see the president driving, coming, do we have the required security to prevent that crowd that would want to follow the president? I think those are all the issues that we should look into to avoid any chaos.
Okay. Well, we're still here. We can't go. We're still waiting and waiting to see what will happen. The ACC are very optimistic that this interview will take place today. Remember, from October 5th, the first, the first date for the invite for this interview was to be on the 5th of October. We were not told where earlier. It was to be in McKinney at the ACC office. Later, it was pushed to the 8th of October in McKinney as well at the residence of the former president. It didn't happen. It didn't happen actually. There was...
It was there available. Even in the entourage. For late drive, he reach now, you're not going to account to waiting happen on the way. So there has to be security concerns about that. And we always see on the social media, waiting the highlights, say people in the on the way, people in the expectant, and all those other matters. And if you don't receive letters, say if anything happen, I then go responsible.
We don't get doubts in the state security. Is that what is happening?
Well, we don't get doubt in that, but the state security available now is small compared to the enterprise we get for do. So we expect a bigger state security apparatus and a more security profile.
No, you are talking about security for your clients. You not suspect anything?
Well, no, not a positive suspicion. The issue here is about his own personal security, and that it belongs to him.
So when would they expect for Canada ACC?
Anytime from now, once we get a clearance.
So today, you mean, or today this interview?
If they're able to give the assurances of a security, he'll be here. He's all ready to be here.
Asking representative in your briefings, when I've been discussed anything that has to do with security, especially
yes, it has been going back and forth. That's the major issue.
Is it that the states refuse to provide the kind of security we need?
The conversation is ongoing. The state no refuse it.
So we expect this interview to happen soon.
Very soon. It could even be today.
So who do I end the day now? Is it the states or the former president?
Well, the former president wants to come, and then the state has to provide the necessary security.
You don't represent the former president, so you don't appeal in case?
Yes, we don't appeal the case, and the matter in a court.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Well, that's it from the Anti-Corruption Commission. We just spoke to the lawyer representing the former president, who is former Anti-Corruption Commissioner and Attorney General. Recent times after being the anti-corruption.
Okay, Ms. Ambulem, it's been very important for me for sure this, reporting from Lamrana and Samuel Wise Bangora right in front of the ACC office. The exchange will be take place. Una see the first person, I believe Sandy Way, correct me if I'm wrong, he is the spokesperson, media spokesperson for the ACC. And then later on, we see the head legal representation of the ex-president, lawyer Fitzgerald Kamara, Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara. We say the president is willing, the president wants to come and have this conversation, but however, for the person of his status, they not feel say adequate security has been provided, and that's then they in dialogue with the police, then they in dialogue with the state for make sure say adequate security is provided. We see the spokesperson we also say if the president feels say he not get adequate security, it's his right, and it's his right to demand for adequate security. So we they hear this word security being tossed around on October 5th. It was a security issue. On October 8th, now McKinney again. The ACC withdrew from the pending, dialogue again because of security concerns. And now again, 2 days ago, the same thing, this time in Freetown. The president, just give me a second, please. Yeah. The president, stating that again, no feel say adequate security has been provided. My question here is, I don't do the security thing back and forth. Why make prior to the date and time, why make una not been done walk through all of the details? Una don't come and agree of all of the security details them. That way, because una the learned lessons from past mistake. That way, we not go find ourselves in this situation. But I go get for make you hold your thoughts because the caller done the wait online.
No, let's say something before the caller come in. Okay, 1 minute, please. Yes, no. Maybe for the allow, let me say, then you go for too long. What is adequate security? That one. Waiting and adequate security. You see. Then the other thing is waiting confused me a little bit, as I've just said in English. I just repeat it back in Creole. You get me? So the president ready forget state security now because this now one person will not be to believe in state security. You get me? In your personal security, he believe in. You get me? So now they want state security. You get me? So if you want state security, now in rights for let them get state security. You see, but I go along with you again. Why did it take so long for them to thrash out all this, for me they don't get all that? These are the sort of things in legal Fitzgerald and the Macaulay. Therefore, we don't put someone they stipulate Sunday from day one, all them days then yeah, so because then gets a long time from the last time we then go McKinney incident and today, then get more than enough time for make them for we don't sort all that day out. You see, that makes you understand why some people they say, are they playing games or not? Who is playing games? Is it the is it the current government or the former president? You see, that makes other people asking, does this government, you see, really serious about fighting corruption? Do they actually want to investigate an Eskoroma, or they just want to humiliate him? You see, those are the questions. Because if they really truly want to investigate him, then they go through all these security issues and get away, do it quickly. For example, I watched Sandy saying that, oh yes, the president is going to come. So they believe they can. But according to Fitzgerald, you see, Fitzgerald, we don't know whether the president, but the indication is like the president was not even in Freetown coming back. And then in the process of his discussion, it make people believe again, it's as if the president is there, and they make a comment say, nobody knows what will happen to the president on his way. You get me? This is not the first time the president is traveling since he stopped being a president. And the problem here is the APC party supporters them, where they send threats, they send, we will do this, we could do this, we could do that. You get me? So if anything, you see, if anything, they get forget the president, they can forget a serious discussion with the legal reps, Fitzgerald and the Macaulay. Yes, because since not the client, he can forget a proper
we have
discussion.
A caller on the line.
Yes, he get forget a proper discussion with them now. For tell them, say, make them try for stop all them supporters them for the issue they can threaten they. Let them go on for go interview this man. Because I don't think so say that they all this man, not for anything. Not just procedures no more. Maybe because me self understand the procedure, something like that make. I not see that at any. I know the procedures very well. You see, procedures of all these things. I know them. You see, so they get for do that, they so that then the Fitzgerald themselves will advise the president, say, come, they're not going to do anything. You see, and let them do this, because otherwise people are saying that, you see, wait, there's a lot more, you see, and we know the president will plain say, his hands are clean, he not get nothing for free. You understand it? You see, we come here now, take this interview, let me all forget, you see, because some of us will not enjoy what we see and Eskoroma at this situation. Some of us not enjoy, we not like that. You get me? We not like that. So let it just come and take this interview. Let me forget about that.
Okay, good. So I'll just go to the callers. Callers, everybody gets 2 minutes. Thank you very much for waiting. You know, sometime when they discuss this issue, people then just need for thrash out their thoughts before. So thank you all for waiting. So 2 minutes on the call, callers. The lines are open. 2 minutes. Caller, waiting at your name and who say the call from. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Yes, caller. Waiting on your name and who the call from.
This is Mohammed Tyree. I've come from US. How you doing, Matilda?
Not bad. What's up, Med?
Not too much. Just want to give me a few contributions about this stuff really going on. Me look on for multiple points. First of all,
So make I hold you there. Make I just hold you there for 1 minute for callers, for the respect of the caller, and they know how to proceed. Okay, so caller, the person waiting on the line right now we current CEO, and I also we get a process where we stop the clock when a host or a presenter calls into the show. So because now the CEO they calling, I'm stopping the clock for him to make his contribution. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will try to do it within the 3 minutes. I will try as much as possible because I'll get for talk about later. The reality is that though we be Sierra Leonean, the problem which we not respect ourselves, we not respect the law, and the one itself who we put in charge of the law not respect the law. This is not the reality. Then here and two come on. It'll happen in South Africa, it'll happen in Japan, it'll happen in some other continents. Some area they know the former president and go they go for the interview and not see nothing, then return and clear the name, everything done, no man going your way. The reality is that some of them here can come and advocate on social media or talk to we leaders that people don't understand why we could talk. We talk because when you were in charge of the system, not believe the system, or you not make the system work for everybody else, now then it happen. If the former president set the system where in the court will be fair to everybody and not for use them against as a political tool against each other, and if previous one before himself, and this even that this administration will create power, then here not for the continue. The law for always be supreme. But now the reality is that how truthful is the law? This is not the question where the game they play. This is not a simple thing. This is not just questioning. The reality is now is first the code is the ACC. I don't criticize it so many times. And the some of begin to show out because people don't understand when they put political party over the country. As some of them they manifest itself slowly, and as some of them we try for talk for prevent to make it continue for the happen. One man not bigger than the law, but at the same time, how truthful the law. Both sides to me not sincere. This is not my own personal view. I look at 2 points. First, this security is about so. Now the state provides security for the former president. They don't go almost 9 hours. If you remember for the interview, that was then get Boko leverage. You get Usna Free, go Usna Makin, ACC all way na Makin for Gosiam. In all work. Okay, now let's see for Kana Frito. So this is about legal representative. Then can issue the mindset if you want for talking to the legal representative is only for goddamn question for answer. But things then the way it comes to money laundering, this is now very, very serious allegation. If the man doesn't do nothing, me is an aim for the push for okay, this interview and a conductor. To me personally, and the channel is personally, me feels this is not just a game the ACC and the former president play against the citizens them. Until I see this interview, I don't believe this interviewer. Me feel say there is something just fishy game they play between the both sides just for foolish citizens. I don't believe this whole process. The ACC, I don't believe them. The former president, I don't believe them. So me personally, I feel this is just a game playing. Because this is not simple thing where both sides for don't coordinate long time. The ACC no need for the lady one old Jamaican cooperative notice to do. The former president said no need for the chair for call supporter and say follow me to go up and down. If both sides for this for don't do a long time for clear, both ACC for don't do them for interview before we even know and just give us and give you the report. If the ACC not to be part of the political tool, the former president said if he said not get nothing for her, this is a big thing for the equal supporter them. But again, it's about trust issue. And to me, personally, not trust neither one. I just feel saying this is a game. From the one where the president come and begin to get but this a commission of inquiry and all this time and all this with this ACC, me feel say this is just a game. With them want for invite the ministers them or former ministers them or other people them who said they invited and get them in. The former president is a statesman, but it's not about the law. This is not the man is where he tell we say we are for follow the rules and we also be accountable. But at the same time, even the ACC self needs for stuff or play politics to people. Then tell them people do them different ways. Without them not bring the hoopla for everybody inside. When I get Baku, I can go to the court. Ask the court say we want this one, and then we want to talk to this man. The court can even invite the man instead of owner and bring them in and set the meeting. The court can do them. So to me personally, until I see this interview happen, I just feel it's a game against the Sierra Leonean people. There's no accountability. That's me on personal take now.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO. So this na CEO in your rendering. CEO believes say there is a game being played on both sides. When I remember at my opening statement, I'm like there is a game playing I don't know who will say checkmate. Some few months back, I believe 4 or 5 months ago, I did a show here when I said, Sierra Leone, I think I titled the show that, Sierra Leone is the game. Sierra Leone is the stage. Who are the actors and who are the audience? When I go back to that show there, and remember waiting I say. Caller, waiting are your name and also you they call from.
Hello?
Yes, caller, waiting are your name and also you they call from.
Yeah, I made a call from Pennsylvania.
Okay, welcome. Wait till you get for we this evening time.
I just listened CEO Metaiwo. I think I told in line, my sister. This is not a game they play. If the ACC really serious for interview Ernest by Koroma, I not feel say them for create any publicity about this thing. Therefore, just don't sit down with Ernest and lawyer them and go interview. I'm sorrowful. Then go able to do several interviews without the public knowing anything. But the ACC will score a political point, and this man said, "For they go meet now a politician." So, the guys, this is not serious for handle this issue. Other people that when the ACC team say yes, they're really capable for handle. We never say they investigate them, they hold them as results no more than tell we. They not ever tell we say they go interview them people and they minister them. So again, the ACC they play with this. If the ACC really know say they're really ready for interview this man, then even if they say they get all the evidence, let this case go court. Let court invite Ernest by Koroma and not go there. Let us see the law. The ACC is not a court. It's just an investigation body. If you don't investigate the man not cooperate to now, and get strong evidence, una take this case go court. Rather than una go to give all them kind of political show ya the waste taxpayers' money. So maybe them careful get the energy. But not if you really get the experience in handling high-profile cases then like this. Now that's my contribution, Mama. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. To the point. I go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and also you the call from. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes. Waiting at your name and also you call from.
I call from Virginia. Name is James. I don't think say na both sides they play game. No, I don't.
So
was one is above the law, which I don't believe so. I think say the ACC they try for 3 times as a former president. I mean a little bit a little bit above the rest of the countries. Try for get and respect. Do them in a soft manner. But because of where he be, because of what he do, say that because there's no reason if you say you're not guilty of something, then they go inquire. It's just an inquiry from within the ACC gets. It's just an inquiry. Say who understand society. So it be or not so it be simple. Why they for go meet the mere fact say for them go meet na McKinney, it's just for get that respect. So that don't mean to say the two sides they play game. No, the two sides not they play game. One side try for give respect, the other side keep dodging. This Mr. Former president when he want for go na free tongue day, then the crowd they be now. Why not be the member about security then me don't see video where crowd they be and so then they sing for and then they dance for and they make it man and they run behind the Mercedes Jeep, then they run behind from Upgun they go inside Frito. They not think about security. Who that one go shoot or who that one go do any harm? All let's say they go inside Freetown, they think about security. Why for think about security now? Nobody no care about her. People and they go about them business. The man just they dodge the thing, one for go. They don't get expect. They don't go meet an mechanic. Where they not for do. One day I don't in the United States. I don't then I have for the longest more than half of my age. So I know the procedure. Then no sign no the way then they go interview somebody. Then they go call even the president. We will get so right now. When they do that inquiry, then give them paper for life field. Why not? Why put them in the investigator? There's too many rubbish and first of all the country been on there for over 50 years. Lawlessness been needed. Nobody no get control over anything. The government not get control over anything. This man just feel to say because he was once a president. Is still above the law. No, even this president I self right now. The New York Southern State district. They wait for let common power. Let investigate them for all in criminal doings of money laundering and this and that. Why then if they can do an why not for do our we are all human. They're not different past we. Only people that went on Canada outside world, let's feel to say that people are extraordinary. If we can Canada, we can do something. We can do something over and if them give the opportunity. So this man in they play the game. Who say now they can't begin ask for security? When they gonna tongue they up and down, then they get kabudu them behind and then they clap for and so and this and that. They ask for security. Their motorbike, but the way been by them where they call for the drive behind. They afraid for security then why not I for the ask for security? This man know what he did. He don't embezzle too much money. He don't take the mineral resources that the country sell and give.
Okay, so I think say that caller day in 2 minutes down up and whatnot. So I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and also you the call from.
I call from Virginia and I'm named James.
Okay, hello James.
I want to do. I believe the former president Anes Bakroma. I'm really surprised at him. I don't really expect say he will perform this way he perform. I genuinely believe saying I'm law-abiding citizen, and the kind level we don't go in that country. As the first gentleman, and most of these powers we anti-ACC get, anti-corruption get, na in give that power to ACC. And what he's doing, na a bad precedent, it is set in that country. If you love Mama Salone, you love the people of Sierra Leone, and genuinely, say, in hands are clean, as it be the Tewi na Salone say, in hands are clean. Let go, whatever, if a political game that they do, let's just interest to it. People in our country, they are wise enough. But for say, if we say they are above the laws of Sierra Leone, the laws that we in government make and give ACCA, if we, the people of Sierra Leone, we accept that, it better we say Salone, we wash we hand. What he's doing, if President Bio, after the power, if you go see that bond, it decide to do the same thing, what are we going to say tomorrow? So the best thing, if that political game says, it has lawyer, it get legal representatives, it makes sure say they will defend her. The people of Sierra will judge if what they are doing is political game. But if it is not, I believe say it needs to be questioned, and wherever the evidence will lead, if it has to be jailed, it should be jailed. Thank you. God bless you all, and God bless you. All we are open. We see, say Salone will develop.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I'll go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and also you call from. Okay. Okay, so following this, if any more call come, I go only take 2 more calls if any more calls come inside. But then I go to Madam Kadi Johnson call. Waiting you make up from waiting the caller then say.
So within the caller then say, the need for interview and make it turn up for interview. I fully agree with that. Make it go for interview, because any other person with for being finding in that situation they for being go for interview. You get me? Let it go for interview. I agree with that. You see, because this is just an interview. They're not gonna arrest him at all. Like I said, even if they're gonna arrest him, it won't be on that day. You see, then go interview him first, and based on what he say, you see, then if they ever get for indictment, then that will follow after. But that particular thing, I'm not think to say they go interview. And another thing where this person say, James Inchok say, let them jail him. At this point, I wouldn't say let them jail him, because nobody knows whether he's actually guilty of anything. Maybe then get loads and loads of evidence, make us say loads and loads of information where they want to clarify with them and all that.
So I think what James say was that make them investigate him. If they find him guilty, then according to the law,
So waiting at the say waiting at the say is the jail as I say may not go wanted in jail and it's until because he's innocent until he's proven guilty. But because they go now for this interview, inferences are being drawn. If not court safe, they talk and everything. You see, although you get some courts where they say we get rights to silence. You see, but you get some areas then. You see, like rights of silence. Now, if you not talk, the inferences will be drawn for say that's so so that it's like you get something they hide and all that. You see, so basically, you get for camp. You get for camp for this interview. Not always about it. You get for camp because any other person in his position would have been there. You see, I have gone through situations there. That's alone. You get me? The ordinary people then, where they do nothing. It was in this place where I tell and I say, me then go interview bench warrants for me safe way. I not even know say I get case safe. I not be get case and go fortify something and issue warrants with me not know safe and not get case. You see, so things are happening. You see, so but I went there, you see, and then I do the case. You get me and all that. I do the case, everything. Then eventually, I free and all that. You see, so basically, it's make it go and go answer because this is President Koroma was there. They give him a job for 11 years. You don't done. You see, the good thing is they're not able to do anything because as president, he covered. They get immunity as president. Just like everybody talk about Bio now. Bio get immunity as president. He let Bio do anything for himself. He let we see until the kitchen. He get immunity and not go try for anything until he don't come out. Now the power. Don't try enough for some things. You get me? So this is what is happening to the former president anymore. I say, but make it come because too many people, and you don't go blame people and people and think to say it's a game playing. No, because what is wrong? Come here, explain. You say don't talk. Say your hands are clean. You yourself talk. Say you ready for this. So it's like you're saying one thing, but what is being done is different. You see, and as this man say, you don't ever get problem with security when they go Freetown. APC now they get control of Freetown. Then but could they pass anybody? And that's also in people then. You see, so I'm nothing to say therefore we do the anything. And I still maintain say when the police talk say if anything do then go all are responsible. I'm not think to say the police that they try for become partial in the sense that they therefore say, oh, because now this government they will support the government. It's just because if so many of you people then that they come with statements that they incite people then for come out, So that's why they try for protect the public say if anything happen now in some more or less they are saying indirectly that tell your supporters, you understand, not to do what they're doing so we can just do this thing easily. So me, That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think that is the inference they go draw say that make them say that with the hope say for making go stop in people then make them not come out and because all the audio that we hear. I'm not surprised that where the police make that statement, and I think that was the right thing we then do. You see, for that statement, because who don't know with all them 1,000, if 1,000, 5,000 people then come out, you understand it? Then go somebody innocent person, so they go just go then go stampede go the innocent people then go die and all that. So the police and that's the right thing when they say. If anything happens, they go hold on. You understand it? Responsible. You see, so because of that, that make him not come now. You say, okay, does that mean that he will never come at this interview if he supports us then all day? That's another question. You see, he could ever come at this interview without his supporters then, or not just nobody, the security he want. If that is security he want, Ben Kalfalam, you sit down now with Ade Macaulay, Fitzgerald, and when I talk now, whose kind of security they want? What would they consider as adequate security? You understand it? And then give them settle because this time has been going for too long now. You see, the quicker they do it, the better. Yeah, they're not even need for wait again for 1 week for question. You see, they can tell them now say we want to make it come tomorrow. You see, if we're not ready for put the security in place, fine. Let them put security in place for them and all that. So then after, if anything, do one. Like even Gandhi, if anything, do the president, yes, sir. Then they know because that's me, they're not taking for. They will take care of him. Nothing no go do one. He go then go. If he means then go get policeman and soldier man away all gone left and right for anybody who want go attack President Kurma. That's if anything do President Kurma, they will hold them responsible. They will hold them responsible. Say well, they're not be there in company of any other person except Una and in lawyer them. You get me? But they have to do this thing quickly. You see, because innocent people, then they get problem and they interview them. You see, then they interview them. You see, when I think of how then disgrace teachers then, now 43 and all, you see, some people begin to think that this law there for one set of people then, is there for the other set of people then. Me personally, to be honest, I'm not enjoy where I did at this group, I did at this discussion today. I'm not being noticed so they can discuss. I mean, but if I don't can now, I always true to myself. You get me? And I true to myself, and at the same thing, I know they back nobody. Now the truth me they say. Wait, I feel to say now the truth. I could be wrong, you see, but I'm just trying to be very, very objective. And as I say, if I have my way for help President Kuruma, I will help him if I get my way. But in this situation, I don't get no way for help him. He has to come and answer to the call. Let he can explain what they want for you.
Okay. Okay, so another area, Madam Kadi Johnson again. Okay.
You see?
Okay. So I will just go to you've been cut out a little bit there. We're not in the area, but that's okay. Yes, yes, okay. Just at the very end. So, but it's okay. Yeah.
I just say they put pressure on the family members then. You see, okay. Because all these they go family members that we get love for them. You see, if they put pressure on them, go there. Answer to this call, unless you know something that we don't know. You understand? But if from what we they take and say, you don't know nothing, because we believe you, President Kuruma, you say your hands are clean, you have nothing where they for you. Well, go there and save your family peace of mind. Save them peace of mind, unless your family and yourself know something that other people don't know. You get me? But other than that, I would suggest, come do this thing quickly, you get me? And then let's finish with it.
Okay. Okay, so I have 3 calls on the line. I will take these 3 calls and they will be my final calls for tonight. 3 more calls on the line. They will be my final calls for tonight. Caller, waiting at your name and who are you the call from?
Yeah, my name is Lawrence Fox and I call from London. Hey, Salone. You get me out good?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, you get me now?
Yes, you call from London, Lawrence Fox, yeah?
Hey, Salone, yeah. Hey, Salone, maybe I cry that cry. Because the people are not serious. Madam, you don't say, see, that puts on straight, quick, 2 minutes. Madam, you don't say, see, me a part of the corruption. It's a bit of justice, you know, the Bible. You don't tip 18 million with Dr. Samura, see? Dr. Samura, the lie, arrest Dr. Samura and put on a jail. Because that deformity of character to your character. So put like 18 million first before you want to start. And the first thing down, the first bet. The second bet is, if you form a commission of inquiry, be fishy, we know they follow the state law, then it's not serious that you are playing games. Then number 3, you not publish the documents you get with the commission of inquiry give you. Commission of inquiry in documents, you therefore publish and the raw one, most which the judges can see.
It's
Number
been
4,
published.
Sorry?
It is already, it's published, it's out in the open, everybody gets access to them. So I just want to stop there and correct
Okay,
that.
thank you. Okay, understand. Okay, yeah, I still go. I get 2 minutes. I'm
go
not
ahead.
go above 2 minutes. I like for respect time there. Thank you for that. Then number 3, what they make here, the point what they make here is, the commission of inquiry don't follow court committee rules. The number 3, what they make here, demand they don't go appeal in the court. If you don't waste Salone money, you tell me say 6 months, we got to look at leaders them and hold them accountable. You said to us 6 months. 6 months, the commission of inquiry we don't done the inquiry, but it pass even 6 months, it go 1 year. Number 4, Ben Kelfa, what's not this question? You can do it in Zoom. And it's common not to phone him, man. We come on and do, you know, most people in the fella. But it's why he's a popular man. Some people in the abroad, they know even Sabu than his Kuma, I come on Salone 2015, when they move, people in the move with her. Then are obvious. He's a popular man. He's a famous man because he don't do something at Salone. Now, Mother you no do nothing. I mean, they know the fella. He's not liked. Mother is not democratic. They're not lekker. And the thing is not democratic. They're not lekker. So that's the difference. So if they move people in the fella, then are obvious. You're gonna follow him anywhere he goes. You understand? You cannot. That's telling you cannot arrest Anes Kuma go put on jail. Not to anyone duamo. Not to anyone duamo. And the people of Salone will lekker. Now that you get some people who know the church. And that's just the basic rules. That's what I mean. If you do the way right, if Anes Kuma, they don't say be faulty, they do it the way right, then it will be easy. But this is the politics that the player of Ben Kelfala. Ben Kelfala can do it to his lawyer. You can talk to Anes Kuma, his lawyer. You can talk to him in Zoom. So it's not all this guy with politics in the place. But then failure, they have failed. That's the fact. They don't fail 95% of the people they don't fail at Salone. The issue they don't want to talk. Not to Anes Kuma. Yeah, thank you so much. Not to Anes Kuma. The issue that we
okay, thank you very much for your contribution, caller. Caller, waiting on your name and who you they call from. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Matilda.
Good evening.
Yeah, this might I make a laugh, but anyway, thank God when you give me a free airtime for discuss certain issue. I believe say Anes Kroma, His Excellency former Anes Kroma, in a state man, he can serve in that country. He don't hold the highest office in that country. And up to now, the resources of Salone is being spent on him. I must say you get at least 20 state security. Now Salone government they pay them, now Salone government they maintain them. So as a state person, without resources being spent on you day and night, you get responsibility for maintaining peace in that country. You get that for being number 1 priority of Anes Kroma. Within Anes Kroma, if you really, you want to get in the place. If you don't, it is part of social media, it is within the threats remarks, most of the supporters that they do, and SFP supporters that they do. I believe, say, if Anes Kroma not to get me in the play, the first thing you should have done, if you don't come, talk to in supporters. Tell them say, yes, what ACC they do now, they get power, they get authority, they genuine cause they fight. Please, my supporter, for now, stay out of this and let them do their job. If they do their job, genuinely, I will let you guys know. If they are political witch hunt they do, I will let you guys know. For the fact that they invited him with a battery of lawyers, openly, they say count whatever amount of lawyers you want, your legal representative, for this interview. I believe, say, there is some amount of genuinity. If APC na game they play, if ACC na game they play, go. If there's nothing on you, you will come back and inform Sierra Leoneans that this is a long-awaiting interview. I walked in, there was nothing serious about it. And that time, Ugo Ho and Francis Kefala and others. But as far as me concerned, as Kuma, he gave responsibility for maintaining peace in the country because our resources is being spent on him day and night. Thank you. Let's give chance to another Slovenian for participating.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. Caller, waiting on your name and also you the call from. Okay, so that will be my final call for tonight. The phone lines are closed. Okay, I will go back to Madam Kali Johnson Cole. Waiting you make up from the two last callers then contribution. And with that, I will also give you the floor for make you give your final contribution for tonight.
First of all, Lawrence, in the UK, he mentioned about the 18 million we Mother Bio take and all that. Yes, Lawrence is not the only one. So many people, they say it take 18 million. You get me? You see, so, and in an interview by Al Jazeera a few days ago, Mother Bio admitted he been corrupt, but now they try for go before. That was clear. Mm-hmm. It's not me who is saying that. You see, he said that. I even played the thing back tonight before they come on show for make sure say I believe we say because
no, he said it. I can yes. Confirm again.
He yes, corrupt, but they're all corrupt. They say, but they try for go forward now. Okay, fine. But this 18 million, when people talk about, you get me. The APC government, they get 11 years for bringing action against Mother Bio. Why didn't they do it? Instead, there was the Commission of Inquiry against Dr. Alpha Wuri, and I think another person. You get me? Why they left Mother Bio at the time? You see? So if they have 11 years for them to bring any action against Mother Bio, they're not doing. You see? So for them to raise that 80 million up now, you get me? I don't know. It's only the members of the public that will raise it up. But if this incident is to go to any court of law or somewhere, you get me? I want to think, I don't know, but I want to think they would successfully argue because then we get all the opportunity for bringing income. They're not bringing income to justice. They're not bringing income for letting account for this 18 million. Only now when they said for kill corruption. But then again, I just say that there's a possibility that they can able bring action from they able get that money back. You understand it? But I just want to highlight the fact say APC gets themselves for blame. They get 11 years for do something about it. They're not doing. You get me? You see? So basically that's how they say. And when somebody talks say this order, where he talks say waiting at this thing now when they talk about for an Escoma interview, they don't go COI, then get 90 days. Well, Mr. Lawrence, let me make it clear to you. Just the way Matilda we say at the beginning of this program, this show, this thing where they want to invite an Escoma, not get nothing for do with this 90 days case. You not get nothing for do with that. You not get nothing for do with the COI. You see, if we are all member at one time, then Kafala talk say that we don't get over 18 other cases there where we don't investigate. Yeah, I think 16 or 18 cases there they don't investigate. 18. Yes, we not get nothing for do with the COI. And Ben Kalfala said, he try not to be part of the COI at all. You know, involved with them in your matter where in they deal with. COI not deal with them at all. You know, get nothing for do with COI. I want to think that Ben Kalfala in focus on money laundering, money the way they abroad, because it indicates that it makes some things to the effect. Like money the way they don't go keep abroad. Those are the things where Kelfala said, and then get some evidence then for them money, then they way they don't go put now offshore and a plenty inside them abroad. So that we don't investigate according to Ben Kalfala, you see, they we don't investigate with the help of outside bodies. You understand? I think whether it's international bodies or something, we don't help them, but then keep them quiet and nobody talk them. You get me? So now they want to go with this investigation. So it's fine for let people that understand, because sometimes again, when people don't understand, when they mix up all things. Now this they want to ask them for all the information that we don't fancy. Would first so money they and that we know you. So money and that we so. Carlo ask you question at school, now you get this, I get this, I get this. Now info just kind of let's say, well, not to me, not to me, or not so or not to so. Those are the questions we don't want to ask, and not to the COI, not to anything, you see. So now all that one they want for ask, I not get nothing for do with 90, you not get nothing for do with the appeal. If you can get something for do with that, but at the Macaulay and visual, therefore we don't come up long time and challenge that. You get me? But when you see them not challenge that, because they no say when Kafala is within his right, you see, for make that interview day. And it only fair to the public, to Sierra Leoneans, for let them know whether they like the former president or they not like now. You get me? Because they get money that if the country not get money, people then poor. It's only fair for let people they know if they like Panam or they not like Panam. If they not like Panam, then perhaps they could get some arrangements and we say, well, okay, bring some of them money, I can't give it. You get me? Or yeah, or if they like Panam again, instead can come and bring action against it for compensation and all that thing if they like Panam. You get me? So these are the things where I want to let people they understand. And when you they talk say where they can interview themselves by Zoom, I'm telling you, we are not sophisticated enough na Salone for do they can interview the day, because they can say interview Zoom, then in the process of it go off. It go off. You see, so it will never happen. So it's better they do the Zoom face to face and how the anti-corruption man wants. And really, to be honest, it's unfair for people to go and dictate to Francis Ben Kafala with the Ifodu. You know, it's unfair. You see, I am one person who should be on the side of an Eskuruma. You get me? Well, I am just being objective. It is fair. It's unfair because Parliament can work for do. Now, in work it they do. The also I get problem with Ben Kalfala then. Now this serious corruption within our bio government, where they know they take seriously with, you see, that they may get problem, you see, because if not only do seriousness with the corruption and don't they after one person, and not they against an Eskroma. To tell you the truth, if an Eskroma take any money, an Eskroma must return every penny they take will not belong to them if I return them. But he worked for 11 years, he get in your money. At the same time, he must have got enough money where instead of make you don't make your investment and then things then. But if you get anything on top, you see, then it's only fair for make you pay him. Because maybe Mr. Be in that situation and go ask me they can't pay for him and all that thing. You see, so the law therefore cover everybody. And then at the corner to the second James and to this person we say now, he say, well, EBK, they see all things on television, it is on social media. Well, that is just, you just presume saying on social media. Well, maybe he's there, but you don't have any evidence for say it is all things on social media. So let me left that, you see, because we just presume say this is what he's doing. There's every possibility to say you're right, you see. But this is it. But then having said that, what anyone saying I so is make I just conclude and give the floor to Matilda now. You get me? Me they make appeal, say, President Koroma, if you have nothing to hide, do the right thing and save your family hassle. Every member of your family will connected to you. In order for connect to you as one mommy, one daddy, or they're not going to connect to you, say because now they're picking, but anybody will connect to you, blood-wise, family-wise, save their older hassle day. You see, save that hassle day because nobody no one foresee you in that situation day. I, for one, I don't want to see you in that situation. You see, I'm not happy this is happening to you. I don't want to be the one even to be here saying all that I'm saying, but I have to for my own credibility, because one thing is my credibility, I can break myself. Yeah, because if people don't know me for one way, you understand? Then all of a sudden I change. I begin to think, you see, I got lost respect for good, you see, and I don't want to do that. So I just want to be myself. But save your family, please. You see, go take this interview. You see, take this interview. Then una see how una go come to it and everything. But that's me they say. And then for other people, the way they support President Koroma, you see, una allow and make them go do this interview also. They know they go hold am for the COI. They know they go take him money. They know they go arrest them. This is a different case, but money the way they keep overseas. Now they want to ask them for because they get international organizations abroad. Now we they work with what is the kafala. The kafala talk after whether McKinney incidents happen. He talk him. But you know ever talk him. He said that in my interview for. He said you know get nothing for do it. 16. You see. So he said and money then they boku. So now that's the one. So do ya. Una all of una like Salone. Una allow let them ask an escoma. If them money then they any side. At least it go do a wall of good to the country. If them money then they able to bring some come back. I'm not thinking to say a bad thing, no. You get me? They're not go even can go jail or anything. You get me? At the same time, if you not take all their money then they now in right for make it come back and challenge what Francis the Kafala say. And if he be said and offer nothing where he get, then he get right for bring action against Francis Ben Kafala for compensation because they don't defame him, they don't like him, they don't put respect for him in the eyes of the world. You get me? Eh? You see, but let's do the first thing for us make it candy. So Diana, that's me the try for say we all will let an escoma. Some of una not go let an escoma pass we. Me we see don't show that some of una let an escoma say una not go let and pass army like him. You get me? Eh? You see? But we not want to see this situation. At all, we not want them. You get me? Let it do something. Do ya a big una allow them? Let it go for this interview. They know they go hold them. They know they arrest them. They know they do a nothing and question no more. Then from there, then go no now waiting they happen. It gets in lawyer. They near there. You get me? So now that time of me they say do ya because we all man they say now oh whether I guilty, you would you blame anyone? You cannot blame anyone if people they say oh he dirty, but sometimes nobody money then they're the dodge. You know one kind. You not go blame anybody if anybody say that. You see, do the right thing. Come here, answer to the questions then, and then take it from there. Now that's what me get for say. Me fumble them. Do ya at the big one. We no one first that want to some of who will go small brother then they will go small sister then they. You see, we don't want to anybody die again. Last time I made the last war, the brother died, then kill me own brother self-said. Now that last war. Now we all sit there and company they bullets go kill him, 3 bullets go kill him. He died. We don't want that to happen again to anybody. We don't want set again at that country. Day. Do ya let me just understand this situation? See, the COI with this na two different matter. Do ya a big no the big una. This na money where they keep abroad and they want question and for all the money they way they send abroad. Where international agency be they work with Francis Ben Kafala. You see, so they get all the evidence then. Now that they want ask them for, including them one the way they talk say na minister na Annette Kuma say law do this. Now Annette Kuma say law we do this. Now Annette Kuma say law do this. Say the money the London go abroad all. You understand it? So some of them say they because who knows? So they not to Annette. Some of them people that they say now they get something for the money laundering. You understand it? Whether they can like say na Annette Kuma. You see, so these are the questions where they want ask them. So I go clarify all that. The Matilda, over to you.
Okay. We fumble them. We don't come, we don't talk, we don't discuss. Again, I get for buttress the fact that this interview, I cannot say this enough, has nothing to do with the commissions of inquiry, their findings, or the recommendation. This interview na a separate investigation where the Anti-Corruption Commission be done the conduct. And this interview gets for do with some collaboration with Interpol and some other agencies them. Like Francis Ben Kafala been done say it gets for do with money laundering, offshore accounts. Offshore accounts. Una don hear boku them. With different leaders them. Even in the case of Babangida, former president of Nigeria, una see the beberebe money them. In the case of Mobutu, former president of the Congo, una know the boku money them. And some of the ones currently sitting that I cannot begin to name. You know, if I begin going inside African politics, when I go say Titi, who say he come out, you know? If we begin for go in the case even of the late Houphouët Boigny, in the case of the Bédiers of the Côte d'Ivoire, even the current Alassane Ouattara of the Côte d'Ivoire, I can name names and go on and you know, spit them out like this. but that is not the purpose. Make we know sit down here and pretend. Make we not sit down here so and not be honest to ourselves. I don't know if the former president embezzled money. I don't know if he's got offshore accounts. But if they say they have evidence, the onus is upon him for go clear in him. He don't always they talk say, me hand clean. You will not wash you hand inside per mine bottle, where then see you hand, then no go see you per mine the inside you hand. So you don't talk say, from all in statements them, you don't talk say, listen, me I know wash me hand inside per mine bottle. So at any time when I call me, I'm ready for come. This thing is simple. Make we stop for complicating. There is no complication in this thing. It is an allegation. It is not an affirmation. Mr. President, sir, former president, with all due respect, you are a man of peace as you claim that you are. From one small pikin where they call Matilda, do ya? I'm not supposed for big. But in the name of country, in the name of progress, you they come free tongue at any given time where you want. And there is no time where you feel say you not get adequate security. When them in take you some of your security personnel, then are you and na me self na ya so sidom na this very platform and say heck no. Heck no. There are people he's comfortable with, and again the people and he's comfortable with. Let me sit down and say heck no. But this time I'm also sitting here again and I'm saying heck no. Because you don't need for drive big motorcar for commot mechanic inside freedom. You can arrange yourself, you can just take even your lawyer that is inside fix jail in motorcar, or is inside Adi in motorcar. Una drive, una come, una do una business quietly, una left, no 2 years, no yearly. In fact, you don't even need for wait for making them invite you. You can just say, hey boys, it in my office, you confirm, like these things can be done. You know, these things can be done without going through all the hoopla. It in my office, okay, then my office, you bust out, you cut out, it in my office. At the end of the day, he has the documents there, he has the file there, he's already prepared. Whether you appear uninvited or not, as an ACC commissioner, he should be ready at all times because that then are in work. So you appear, you do this thing easy, breezy, you go back, go sit down at your corner and wait for your waiting and get for say, and then go from there. If they're accusing of you of something and you have something to prove, the law is there. Your legal team is there. Your legal counsel is there. At no point should you walk in there by yourself, because obviously the way that they ask certain questions, they're not all like the way me Matilda go can sit down. I also ask them question. Some question and then when I trap question, that is why your legal representation is there to guide you when to say something, to guide you when to say I plead the fifth. You know the answer. And if they want for no more, then go through the legal system for find out more. So I'm just saying all this hoopla is unnecessary. From both even the anti-corruption side or even from your own side, or this can be avoided. This can be avoided. This can be sorted out very easily, very simply, without 2 noyery. Again, like I say, you can jump inside any of them one and they're in motorcar, or you self can drive can without nobody know you drive, you know, one even time or one Sunday you drive, you can't sit down Monday morning, 8 o'clock or 8:30, you don't tell them in your office, you don't they wait and sometimes even before you self can register, if you don't sit down in your office, you fall and fall foot, they wait them. There are ways to go about this thing. So let us not make much ado about nothing. Where much ado about nothing is unnecessary to be made. Do ya? To the anti-corruption and to the former president in team, sort this thing out, because now it don't begin almost they become like, you know, a cyst where we're not sure what's in the inside, where we need for go do you know, how they can call them, where they go need for go do a sample, you know, take a sample and carry and go to the lab. And we don't want that. To people who say, you know, we don't want war inside Salone, make I tell you something, one not get for inside Salone, yeah? They say kill dog before dog, make dog no say die day. We be don't kill dog before dog day. So dog day no say die day, my people. Forget all this bing 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 where people like in the do JJ. Listen, nobody wants to die because dog don't kill dog before dog and dog no say dog die day. So now relax. There is no war going to happen in Sierra Leone. There will be scaffolds. Yes, I'm not going to deny that. I'll be naive to sit here and say there won't be scaffolds. There will be scaffolds, there will be skirmishes. But as for war, Salone no get for see war again. I'm telling you. People remember. They remember. Not make where they can make like for say they don't understand. No, they all understand. They remember. And to people who are very quick to run to this 18 million, Dr. Samora Kamara say 18 million. That is why I'm really glad I shared the, for those of you who haven't watched the Al Jazeera interview, please do. It's on my page. Go on my page. It's there. You can watch it. I'm really glad where the current president in face up to the fact that, say, listen, my aunts are not innocent. Me me and I've been done what's inside my mind bottle before. So me are not clean. But here is his thing where una can fail for realize. And many a times people they don't come up to me and they don't say, Matilda, you know they ever comment about that 18 million. All the time when they talk about that 18 million, you know they ever say something. If even if you get guests, then they mention that 18 million, you know they ever comment. Here is my, let me give you this one and sole opportunity tonight to talk about this 18 million. The reason why I know they mentioned the 18 million is the law is the law. Justice rendered is justice attained. Justice rendered is justice accepted. We get a TRC where happen. When I go back, go read the conclusions of the TRC. When I go back, go read the verdicts of the TRC. I was a very young girl then. But remember, I was that same young girl who was part of the Lome Peace Accord. Okay? I can always remember on Funadat. Yes, I'm small. But I don't do and I don't take part in a lot of institutions and policy settings within Sierra Leone. I praise God and thank God for that. That I had people within certain sectors that you know, give me the opportunity, even at that very tender age, for serve my country. And it's something I'll always be proud of. Bintumani too, I was there. I was there. There was a time where I even make a video, a full-length video, and explain to her the entire process. But listen, amnesty was granted to these people. And Mother Bio happened to be one of the person where amnesty was granted to for crimes or whatever alleged crimes committed then. And that also include this 18 million where una they talk about. If there was ever an 18 million. So at the end of the day, they not go don't grant amnesty to somebody. Then don't tell them for say for these crimes or these alleged crime committed within this period to this period for life, you cannot be prosecuted for. Then all time una they grab and say 18 million, 18 million. Say go come Funkia, go Watalo. Let me tell you something, people. He can never be prosecuted for that 18 million. That 18 million is a walk away if ever that ever happened. And I keep saying if ever that ever happened because I cannot sit here and say it happened. I cannot sit here and say it take that money there or it not take them. But waiting, I can sit down and say if you go look back na the TLC recommendation, if you go look back na the outcome of the Lome Peace Accord of Bintumani M2. Okay? And all of them peace treaties them will take place. Please, it is clearly written. This man was given a pass. He was given a pass So in the name of honoring a verdict, in the name of honoring an outcome, yes, it might be painful and whatnot. Let us move past it, please. Let us now take charge and start marking and start booking so that it gives account for the now. Because anything what they do now in current administration moving on, it is no longer that exoneration or that free pass no longer applies. It no longer applies. So from the here on now to whenever he come out in office, you can question him. You can question him on his deeds. You can take him to task for whatever. But please, I not ever talk about this 18 million. But if you know why waiting make I not ever talk about them, and you guys have always been on my case, here is my why. I've given you my why. And I hope so una go respect me why. Una no need for accept them, but respect it. Now, even as I close, I want to talk about two things quickly. The Minister of Education, Dr. Moinina Senge, I am not accusing you of what happened with the worst result. It is beyond your control. What I know for sure is we need a national dialogue on our education system. If we get to a point where right now the count is 3 suicide, number 4 picking day inside hospital right now on critical condition because he failed in exam. That is not on you. But we need a national dialogue. We need a dialogue where you sit down, the parents sit down, the educators then sit down. This is an open invitation to you. From me, let's do this. Let's have a dialogue here where we talk about certain things then. 5 core subjects. Only 4.5% made it. I am even ashamed to call the number of students them who sit the WASC exam. But when you look at the percentage of passes, 4.5% in total, now they no more make the 5 core subjects. They talk about the sciences, they talk about math, they talk about English, and so on and so forth. So I am calling you to an open dialogue where we sit at the table with the educators, including yourself, including the parents, including the students. Let's have a conversation because we are in a serious emergency, and this emergency has nothing to do with you. If I sit here and lay it on you, I will be the biggest hypocrite on this planet Earth. And I cannot for 1 second lay it on you. But what I can say is an urgent, pressing national dialogue. And dialogue is important to be held. Me fambulem, even as I close tonight. About 5 or so months ago, on a member Asidona Yaso, on a Friday night, Saturday afternoon, the news break of little angel Khadija Sakor in case. I took to social media immediately as I get the notification. I was enraged. Enraged because yet another innocent life this time has been taken through a menace now in society. I do multiple shows them on rape, the rape culture, the pimping culture of our society, and how girls are being pimped. I remember I even make a show where I say, you know, Sierra Leone has a pimping culture of girls. I go deep. That day I was emotional. I did another show. I think I've done 3 shows on the subject matter since her passing. But you know what? At every single time, if una go back, I remember I tell una say, if we are not careful and if we do not do this right, 6 months from now, I will still come back and I will talk about this issue. I am not a soothsayer, but I recognize my talents and I recognize my gift and I recognize my intuition. 6 months, we are here and we are still talking about the same subject matter. Me famble them all around the world. Join the Sako family in remembering in a candlelight vigil for Khadija Sako on the 29th of this month. It will be a Sunday, UK time, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I definitely will be there to support the family. And absolutely for sure, I will do another show. Some people then say, why make you not bring Mr. Sako Khan at the show? I go tell you now, I don't talk to Mr. Sako several times. I've had several conversations with him. And I said to him, there is one thing I will never do to you. In your sorrow, I will not re-victimize. I'm like, it's okay for you to go on other shows. It's okay for you to go on other platform. It's your decision. But on my show, I will bring you on when the time is right, and the time is not right. And until I feel the time is right and justice has been served, I maintain that view. I will not re-victimize in the moment of pain. Khadija, I will keep fighting your case. I will keep pushing on in my little corner. And again, on the 28th, there will be a round panel discussion. I will again engage with the who's of who's in Sierra Leone that deals with these cases, that advocates on these matters. The Rainbow will be here. The president or director of Rainbow will be here. The president and director of Aberdeen Women will be here. And so many, and so on and so forth. Lawyers will be here. And we will have that conversation again. I promise you, people. But for now, please mark your calendar. Let's support the family on the 29th. It will be 10 a.m. I believe, yes, 10 a.m. North American time. It will be 6 p.m. in London, and I believe 7 p.m. in Sierra Leone. Even before I say my final goodbye with Corona, Madam Kadi Johnson, say goodbye to family. So we fumble them.
Yeah, fumble them. Yes, I want to say, before they say goodbye, make I just say something quick. Masida, thank you for where you raised this CUC. Was it Truth and Reconciliation thing, you see, because I don't forget about that safe, you see. I just want to add something almost. It was that period, in make with an able guest, I think when Mother Bio left and go, they make them go back, then give Strasser some money, then give them air tickets, we in go to one country, Strasser said we go to one country. But as a result of that period, we then do all that thing and now that's not what I want to say. But me family then, I want to thank you for wanting to listen to this show. I just want to say goodbye, Sona. We go see, hopefully we go see next week, although I'm not sure about next week. You see, but we'll leave it that way. On a good night. Thank you so much for that time.
Okay, thank you very much. Me fumble them once again. Corona is real. Corona they kill. Una wasuna andem. Una maintain social distancing as much as you can. Una wear una mask them. I don't tell una say if una no get mask, all man get lapana os. Take lapa tie and put them. All man get lapa. Ibadi bate, you pote, you must get a lapa. Do ya? Bigger the big una. I know say things wrong. But together, in good faith, we can all get there. Once again, me family them, I tell una boku thank you. Waiting we defend at this war, may God be with them. May God continue for protect we all who say we day. Make it continue for open way for we. And I strongly believe waiting we parents and we grandparents they not achieve na Salone. In our generation, in our lifetime, we will surely achieve it. Thank you very much again to Madam Gary Johnson for intent. And like I say, to the former president, to the ACC, there's no need for all the hoopla. Let's get this. We can do this. You guys can do this. Let's get it done in good faith, in sincerity, and in honesty. Prove the naysayers wrong. Prove them wrong. Thank you.